What's up, everyone? This is FP Sticks. Who's ready to watch me get destroyed? I am. I'm ready to watch myself get destroyed. For all of those out there that are big fans of HONCHKROW, this video is not me knocking on HONCHKROW or tearing it down, because tomorrow's video is actually going to feature some really nice HONCHKROW gameplay from someone else. But I tried using HONCHKROW in Go Battle League. This was around like the 2600 rating, like 2660 is where I started, and then by the time I ended I was back in the 2500s. So that should give you a little hint as to how these battles went. I went 1-4 and then 1-4 again, with this team of HONCHKROW in the lead and then Snorlax and Venusaur in the back. HONCHKROW is rated fairly high on PvPoke. I think it's like 9, 10, or 11, somewhere in that range for Ultra Premier. So in theory, this Pokemon is pretty good, but if you look into a lot of the matchups, a lot of these matchups are reliant on you successfully baiting with Sky Attack and then landing the Brave Bird, and most of the wins are actually in like the 0 or the 1 shield, because oftentimes if you're up against an opponent, or if you're up against a Pokemon that has any fast move pressure at all, HONCHKROW is going to get absolutely shredded. But it is, this is kind of what happens when I tend to run like spicier picks on my main account. It just does not work for me. I am not super great at running like crazy off-meta picks, and unfortunately I got absolutely destroyed using this team. This first battle is actually against J-Farm, against John. I was barely able to pull off a win there. Good game. But let's just take a look at these battles. So look at this. HONCHKROW against Toxicroak. You think it's a favorable matchup, right? No. HONCHKROW takes neutral damage from the counter, and all the Toxicroak has to do is double shield, and it wins this like so. It just wins it really hard, and I know that, so that's why I swap into Snorlax, which is obviously a questionable play, but I needed that Toxicroak to dump its energy. Out comes Charizard. If I'm able to land 2 body slams plus the lick damage, it's going to be like barely enough to almost KO the Charizard. They go for a Dragon Claw, and then I'm not able to get to that body slam. Oh, my Snorlax's IVs, unfortunately, are pretty bad for PvP. You can see it was 2466 CP there. So that might have been an IV loss right there. Would have been able to get to that body slam. So I'm over farming with the HONCHKROW. The Sky Attack is going to take out the Charizard. And out comes the Toxicroak again. I know it's out of energy, but it's literally able to counter me down before I can throw the Sky Attack. Oh my gosh. So I did these 2 sets live on stream last night, and it was very rough. I was trying to keep my cool, but bad things just kept happening over and over again. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of these games where it's very clear that I was going to lose, so I leave a little bit early, save a little bit of time here, but I get absolutely destroyed. HONCHKROW into Gyarados. The Aqua Tail, even though it's not a very powerful move, would still do a lot of damage to HONCHKROW. They don't even take the bait with the Sky Attack, and I can't snarl it down before they would have gotten to another move, so I have to switch out of there. And Snorlax is now stuck against Venusaur, which is not really great, but I do have some loaded energy on the HONCHKROW, which is nice. So regardless of how much energy this Venusaur farms, HONCHKROW wins the CMP tie against Venusaur. So just going to chip this down with body slams, but my opponent recognizes that they can... amazing counting by my opponent as well. Man, how do you count licks that well? But force the CMP tie, really not good. I'm down a shield. I bring out my own Venusaur because I know that they have a lot of stored energy, hoping that I caught a Frenzy Plant, and I did, which is really good for me. I'm able to Vine Whip it down. And it's an Alolan Muck, which is like the hardest counter to Venusaur. Really not good. They're just going to shield this up. And then at this point, it's going to be very difficult to win. I'm going to be able to snarl down the Gyarados, which is good, and then I need to land 2 Sky Attacks on the Alolan Muck, but it's not going to happen. HONCHKROW is so frail that even a resisted Dark Pulse is going to be enough to take this thing out. If I would have been able to land a Sky Attack, that would have done probably about half damage to this Alolan Muck, and I actually would have still had a win condition here. Just needed to land 2 more Frenzy Plants, but wasn't going to be able to win that one there. Good game. HONCHKROW into a Lowland Muck. This is a somewhat playable scenario, so my opponent switches out. I'm able to get my Venusaur aligned to the Swampert, which is nice. Because I was barely too slow to the swap, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to land a Frenzy Plant before the Swampert threw a move. So that's why I didn't try to go for the CMP tie, and I was able to farm up more energy, which is good. Out comes a Alolan Muck. This Alolan Muck can't really snarl down my Venusaur. It just doesn't do that much damage. And it takes about 3 Frenzy Plants plus all of the cumulative Vine Whip damage to take out an Alolan Muck. That's just how crazy good Frenzy Plant is. So they do take me out. They dump some energy there. I can't really farm this thing down with either Pokemon. So I bring out HONCHKROW, and then I'm actually able to get to this Sky Attack, which is really great. It gets shielded. This Alolan Muck has so much energy. I'm really hoping this is a Sludge Wave. They bait me with Dark Pulse. This is very, very bad. So I switch into Snorlax. Gonna have to absorb whatever damage this is. Just another Dark Pulse again. This Alolan Muck is just going to town, but I kind of want to save my shield for the HONCHKROW. In the back is Poliwrath. Not super great, because they're going to farm up to so much energy and then threaten my HONCHKROW with Ice Punches, and they're for sure just going to save the shield for their Poliwrath, for the moves that my HONCHKROW is going to throw. And Poliwrath is so dang bulky. Those Body Slams don't do that much. I switch into HONCHKROW now, but I am going to get outpaced here, unfortunately. I can tank 1 Ice Punch, which is good. They're obviously going to shield this. And then I need to get to the Sky Attack, but I'm 1 Snarl away. Have to shield this up. And then oh, they catch on their Alolan Muck. That was the play that won them the game. I actually would have been able to win this game, but very, very good play by my opponent. Very nice sack swap. Yeah, I even overfarmed to try to prevent that from happening, but they just guessed correctly on the timing there. So very good play by them. HONCHKROW into Ampharos. This is absolutely horrible. So I'm going to safe swap Snorlax, and it's greeted by Venusaur, which is also not good because my Snorlax is not a Shadow. But I'm going to try to win back Switch here. So I think I'm actually just going to commit both shields and try to get my own Venusaur aligned with the Ampharos. It's really like the only hope I have here with this. So we're burning some shields, which is good. But Ampharos is such a solid response to HONCHKROW, it's going to be rough. So I commit both shields. This Frenzy Plant is not going to be enough to take me out. I have a lot of loaded energy. I have 2 Body Slams stored, actually. So I throw the Body Slam, and then I'm going to throw this other Body Slam. If this goes unshielded, I will win Switch. So I'm able to regain Switch, which is nice, but they have a Tangrowth in the back. The thing that sucks about Tangrowth is that it has access to Rock Slide, which HONCHKROW is not going to appreciate, and it just farmed up so much freaking energy. I tried to catch a Rock Slide on my Venusaur, but it did not work. And then I am able to throw the Sky Attack, which is good, but Venusaur has a lot of work to do. So I switch it in now. I have no shields, and 1 Frenzy Plant is not going to be enough to take out the Ampharos. I'm going to get hit by 2 Rock Slides, and then even though the damage from Ampharos is going to be resisted, it's going to be just enough to take me out. Brutal. Ampharos lead is very tough. And then Venusaur on my Snorlax. Since I don't have a Shadow Snorlax, I'm not able to flip that matchup. There's a solid 1 and 4. Oh, I actually saved the back half of that first clip there, it looks like. Went 1 and 4. It looks like I forgot to clip this middle section out. At this point, I'm probably talking to the stream being like, I can't believe that I'm doing this. But we're going with another set for the YouTube content. You'll love to see it. This is not that great of a lead, because Hydrocannon is going to do so much damage to HONCHKROW. Yes, it is playable, so I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, but Sky Attack I doubt is enough to one-shot this thing. I do get the shield, which is nice. Gonna safe swap into Snorlax. It draws out the Machamp. So I do have a shield advantage, but my opponent was very smart in storing all of their energy. They stored all their energy. So this is really tough for me. I'm going to be able to get to this body slam. It's barely not going to be enough to take it out. And then it's actually a simultaneous feint there. And I'm just hoping that... so I do make the correct decision bringing out the Venusaur here. Probably should have shielded this because it does a lot of damage. Because now I essentially have to... I also probably should have shielded this because now my Venusaur is like dead. Oh man, that's a big mistake. Yeah, that's not good. Because now they're shielding that Magnezone in the back. Really bad. I can't throw the Brave Bird right away though. They go for the Mirror Shot bait, and of course the first one debuffs me. So honestly, my only win scenario was me being able to land 2 Brave Birds, but because my attack got debuffed, you will see that these 2 Brave Birds, just barely not enough. If I wouldn't have got the attack drop though, would have been able to double Brave Bird and then have a little bit more play, but yeah, I just get destroyed there. Good game to my opponent. The Magnezone in the back was super brutal for this line to handle. Good game there. Honchkrow into Drifblim. This is a favorable lead. And then they switch into Machamp. So I'm going to throw the Sky Attack, obviously going to get the shield, and then I need to switch into my Venusaur. But it was a CMP tie. Very unfortunate because now I have to shield this. And I don't have any stored energy on my Honchkrow anymore. Don't know why I'm over farming here. Maybe because I want some energy to threaten the Drifblim, but I probably should have just thrown the Frenzy immediately. Get some lag right there, but it's alright. Looked to be mutual. Down goes the Machamp. Yeah, I should have thrown sooner to avoid being hit by the Rock Slide, because now this just puts my Venusaur in Hex farm down range. Luckily, Snorlax is going to be a solid response to all this farmed energy that the Drifblim has. So I have to let the Venusaur go, unfortunately. I bring out the Snorlax to absorb all this. I'm anticipating my opponent switching out. In the back is Swampert, and Swampert is going to be able to outpace the Honchkrow here, unfortunately, and I'm definitely in Hydrocannon range. So there's pretty much nothing I can do here because I'm only going to get to 1 Sky Attack. They're just going to shield it, and then my Snorlax essentially has to take out a full health Swampert and a Drifblim. That is not happening, folks. Ouch. Ouchies. Not good. Drifblim still has an Icy Wind stored as well. And the Swampert is just too fast. Too fast. Gonna throw the Body Slam. Not even enough to take it out. This is so brutal. And then this Hydrocannon's barely not enough to take me out. But then the Drifblim's gonna come in and ruin my day. Good game. Even though I had a favorable lead there, was not able to clutch it out. I was on a really hot losing streak last night. Alright, Honchkrow into Empoleon. This is not a good lead. So, I actually stay in here for a little bit. And then make a very laggy swap. Out comes Togekiss. Oh, looks like they're also getting a little bit of lag. This actually is favorable for Snorlax, especially since I have a little bit of an energy advantage here. Definitely getting some lag. Gonna throw this Body Slam again. I really want to regain Switch so my Venusaur can get aligned to the Empoleon. So I will shield this because I know that I'll be able to get to another Body Slam, but if my opponent double shields, this is a little bit scary. Alright. They do double shield. And then I switch in my Venusaur to try to Vine Whip it down. But that was a huge mistake because now it's stuck against this Dragonite. I should have just let the Snorlax go down. Yeah, that was a mistake. Should have let the Snorlax go down. I have to shield at this Dragon Claw, which is not great. And then we CMP tie right here. I'll barely survive the Dragon Claw, but then I'm just going to get farmed by the Empoleon or the Togekiss. Yeah, Empoleon. And then this game is totally over. Should have just let it go down. So I would have actually been able to align that. And then I tried to get fancy with my catch, but my opponent totally knew what was happening. And then I get charmed down. Good game there. Got absolutely destroyed. Okay, favorable lead. I like this. I get to Sky Attack right as the Venusaur gets to a Frenzy Plant. Sky Attack barely does not take out the Venusaur though. I know this is just a Frenzy, so I can let it go. Still does so much freaking damage. Look at that, dude. Holy cow. Out comes Charizard. So I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird here. I don't think I would have been able to get to 2 moves. So it does get shielded. I'm going to be able to align my Snorlax on this, which is really good for me. It is a Wing Attack Charizard too. I shielded the Blast Burn, and then in the back is Gyarados. So I was actually able to get some good alignment in this game, thank goodness. But it's not over yet. Could have possibly shielded that. But honestly, I'm okay if I kind of want to lose this matchup, but get the Gyarados low enough that I can farm them. Which is what I'm doing. I'm intentionally losing this matchup. Then I can farm down with Snorlax. But then I noticed that they stopped, and so then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to farm them down and then Sludge Bomb their Charizard. Kind of a weird little scenario there. I burn the last shield, and then I'll be able to double Body Slam and then lick down the Charizard most likely. My opponent leaves the game there. Good game. I think this is the final battle. Honchkrow into Gallade. In theory, this is favorable. My opponent switches into Dragonite. I don't have a direct counter to Dragonite. And I don't have a hard counter to Gallade in the back. So I have to bring out my Snorlax here. And I'm hoping this is a big move. It is an Outrage. So that's a good shield for me there. Gonna throw the Body Slam. It's not gonna be enough to take this out, but this is a pretty favorable matchup for Snorlax. Another CMP tie. I'm really hoping this is just a Dragon Claw. It is. Now, if the Gallade comes out and confusions down my Snorlax, it's the worst possible thing. It's essentially good game. So out comes the Gallade, and it's doing exactly that. Confusioning down my Snorlax, which is really bad. Luckily, Venusaur can absorb the charge moves from Gallade. But this is pretty rough. So I bring this out. I don't need to shield the first one, even though it's still going to do a lot of damage. And then I should also technically not shield this right here, because it's just a Leaf Blade. It's double resisted. And what's in the back? An Ampharos. So if I would have still had my shield, I would have had a little bit more play here, because I need to land 2 Frenzy Plants, and it's just not going to be able to happen. I tried to catch on my Honchkrow there, but my opponent kept farming, and it was very good with their energy management, and I am able to get to this Frenzy Plant, but as you can see, it's barely not going to be enough. Oh, definitely not enough. And then they farm me down, and then I think they Focus Blast me. So, good game. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Tomorrow we'll have some better Honchkrow gameplay, I promise you. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.